All right. So, hello everyone again. Um, for those who don't know me, my name is Sakari. I work for Happy Signals and have been a part of this community now for I don't know how long. How long has it been going on?
Since the beginning, yeah, like a year and
Yeah.
2 months, I
Over a
think.
year.
Yeah.
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 And I'm going to start this presentation today with a small video that some of you may have already seen, but I think that it's excellent for today's presentation about the IT support profiles and personas. So, and don't worry if your speakers are loud, etc., in a public place, you can maybe turn down the volume a little bit. There's no dialogue to follow, but maybe just you'll see. All right, so let's.
Yes. Let's
Okay.
work. Fantastic! Just fantastic.
All the experiences clearly on data. Make better IT decisions with happy signals.
All right, so that video is maybe something that a lot of people can relate with. And the fact that something goes wrong, you get frustrated, emotion is involved. It's not just a neutral moment where you just look at the screen, you look at the error message, and you go about your day. And you in IT, in service management, as a professionals, you face these situations and these emotions on a daily basis, whether or not you hear about them or not, but they're happening. And one of the things that is so challenging with IT, especially in the bigger organizations and in the enterprises, is that the people that you're providing the support for are all different. They all have their own preferences. They all have their strengths. They all have their different experience with the technology that they use. And this is something that then makes it sometimes challenging to provide the type of I don't want to use the word experience, but I'll use it anyway, the best possible experience for these end users when it comes to support. And it really is about why understanding user behavior matters. And many of you have already been using personas, but what we'll be speaking about today is actually something slightly different. User personas are more fictional characters that are based on assumptions that we try to generalize. And on this picture, you see King Charles III and Ozzy Osbourne. They're both male, they're both born in 1948, they both raised in the UK, both were married twice, both live in a castle, both are wealthy and famous. But if you would be providing IT services or IT support to King Charles, it might be slightly different than if you would be providing it to Ozzy Osbourne, I would assume. So what Happy Signals did in 2019 is that as they were building I think it was probably the second version of the platform, they went out and they interviewed 500 people and they had a professional psychologist involved in the research design so that they would start to understand what are actually the problems that people face and what type of reasons make them happy or not happy. And these were not surveys, but these were actual conversations. So long form, qualitative interviews and conversations to understand what makes you happy when you get the IT support, what makes you unhappy when you get IT support, and what are the patterns that they could detect. And there were multiple organizations, different user roles, and it was probably one of the largest studies of IT user behavior, at least in the Nordics back in the day. So, what did we discover from those conversations? We discovered that it was possible to actually, through just two questions, identify four different profiles. So just two questions, and these questions are being asked on the back of incident ticket surveys about once per year from different people. And to date, we have actually collected, I checked today that we have over 3 million data points on this now. So 3 million 9,300, I think was the exact number. The two questions are these. How would you describe your IT skills? I often need help with IT, I rarely need help with IT, or I help others. And the second question is, when I have a problem with my IT tools, I most likely try to solve the problem myself, just contact support and ask a colleague. I think if you look at those options, you can see that you probably can identify yourselves in both of the questions, matching one of those descriptions. And the way that the combinations then play out is that you get in the platform then information about how people experience, where are the happy people, where are the unhappy people in terms of these different profiles. Now, what about those two questions? What do the different profiles then indicate? We have doers, prioritizers, supported, and triers. And on the top here, the doers and the prioritizers, they're the people who they have the technical knowledge. They also have the confidence and experience to solve issues if they have issues. Some users might, on the other hand, freeze when things go wrong. They don't know what to do. But when it comes to the profiles, you also have on the bottom, unskilled and insecure. So you don't have the skills, and at the same time, you don't maybe even feel like you are able to or capable of learning the skills necessary to deal with or to use specific tools or services that IT provides. And then there's a question of, do you prefer to fix it yourself? I think, like, based on all the different posts that Matt has been doing, I mean, he's a doer, like, to the core, like, has been a geek since a young age. Like, if something breaks, he wants to understand why it broke and then fix it himself. It's not like outsource it. Well, on the other hand, like, depending on like the skills, there are certain areas of IT where I don't feel very comfortable. In that case, I'm just going to ask IT because I'm afraid that I'm going to screw things up if I try to do something myself. And on the other hand, so you have these prioritizers and supported that want IT to fix their issues. So there's two aspects here. There's competence, and then there's the attitude and preference in support situations. And each quadrant represents a distinct user type, and they aren't stereotypes. They're behavioral patterns that can shift based on context. So in this Zoom meeting, I feel like a doer. The little challenges I had with the sound at the beginning of the video not coming through didn't really throw me off because I knew how to fix it, just reshare and then maybe not do it the same way. But in a different context, if I'm working on some data analysis for the benchmark report, that's not my core competence. So I feel like a supported person because I need the help and I want somebody to help me with those aspects. So can you see how this is now a little bit different from the user personas? Profiles are self-assessment of your confidence and your competence with IT and your self-assessed preference in terms of the how you want problems to be solved. The duo profile, these are the ones that are the most common in large enterprises today. They a lot of times know more than the first level support staff. So if they call into service desk and support staff ask them based on the script, have you tried to restart your device? They're going to be, of course I tried to restart my device. Have you checked if all the updates have been installed? Yes, of course I checked if all the updates have been installed. So knowing how to speak to these people is very important so you can meet the expectations that they have of support, skilled and competent. By the time that they contact support, they probably have tried a lot of different things. So their expectation is that they would get experts speaking to them on an expert level. Now, what you can do though is that these people are also very capable of reading knowledge articles. So you can give them advanced self-service tools and proper channels for escalation rather than then spending agent time on speaking to them and going through the scripts. So you save that time for somebody else who needs and wants that type of service. And these are the people that the people in your offices would turn to when their computer has problems. You all know these people. Can you come and help me? The prioritizer, these are often managers or people with high workload pressure. So they have the skills, but they don't have the time nor the inclination to actually go solve the problems. What they need is a fast resolution and a clear communication about timelines. They will choose workarounds over learning if it saves time. Now, the service strategy here is that you offer them express channels, clear SLAs, and immediate workaround options. And these aren't difficult users actually, because they just want things fixed. They'll pick up the phone, they like the phone channel, they can call, I have an issue, please fix it and tell me when it's done. Then we have the triers. So these are the people that are probably going to spend hours on YouTube trying to fix the problems before. They want to learn, but they don't have the foundational knowledge to actually solve the problems in many cases. They're often overconfident in their abilities. So what might happen is that by the time that they contact support, they have made things worse. So the service strategy here would be to provide guided learning resources and encourage early contact rather than waiting, trying, and maybe messing things up even more. And the last one is supported. These are the people that may actually avoid calling the service desk or logging a ticket because they're embarrassed that they don't know how to do things. They need patient, non-technical communication. They want hand-holding, and they prefer familiar faces and in-person help when possible. So don't send these users to the knowledge articles because they won't necessarily understand, and they might feel embarrassed that they don't understand, and problems may not get fixed. Instead, direct them directly to in-person contact and make sure that the agent can speak to them in a patient and kind way, making them feel comfortable and asking, did you restart your computer? Have you updated? Oh no, maybe I should have done that. Oh yeah, now I'm supposed to restart the computer, can fix the problem sometimes. So the service strategy here would be to create welcoming, judgment-free support experiences. And then it's a question about who are those people? And when you have the data and you can start seeing what is the distribution of the different support profiles in your organization, then you can start looking at it from the point of view of, okay, it is 52% doers, for example. Then we know roughly what percentage of the tickets could be directly directed to the service portals and self-service articles and tools, while the supported at 16% might help you resource the service desk phone lines or chats with people that are responding and doing that direct dialogue communication with end users. It just helps to allocate resources more wisely and still meet the expectations of the end users in the way that they want to be met. And what you can see as well is that the doers have the lowest happiness. So a lot of times when looking at organizations that are global, they might feel that, oh no, but we're not doing really well in this location, in that location. But actually, even regionally, based on maybe cultural expectations, the profile distribution in different regions also changes. So the highest percentage of doers are in North America and Western Europe. The highest percentage of prioritizers are in South America and Eastern Europe. The highest percentage of supported end users are in Asia and Middle East, while the highest percentage of triers are in Asia, Oceania, and Africa. So for global organizations, understanding what the profile distribution is on a global scale might also inform where do we put in-office staff and where do we actually then just keep a centralized IT function that can take care of some more complex problems. And this is not really profile related, but of course, like then understanding which industry you're in as well will also have an impact on the average happiness, etc. So you know if you should be complacent, or you should never be complacent, but if you should be happy with the level of service they provide, or if you actually like are beating your head against the wall because you're in an industry where it's very difficult to provide the type of services that would be rated high. So context matters, and being curious about what causes those experiences is a really important thing. And by doing that, then you can really care and provide the services that people need and the way that they want. So that was my short presentation, and there are other benchmark findings if you're interested on happysignals.com/report. But I'll stop sharing, and I see 34 messages in chat. I don't know what they are, so I'll stop sharing and over to questions.
Zachary, do me